What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. I just want to focus in on the possibility of Lawson Crouse cracking the Florida Panthers opening night roster, and what it means for him going forward. One little tidbit I think people are overlooking is he's not eligible to play for the Kingston Frontenacs until October 17th because he's still serving an 8-game suspension up there in Kingston. So this is I love this. So he can be in the NHL and technically still be serving a suspension at the same time. Kind of love the game of hockey at times, right? So I think Florida keeps him around for a little bit. That way, even if he's getting minimum NHL ice time, he's still getting ice time, to put it simply. They obviously can't send him to the AHL. We know how I feel about that rule. But again, he gets to be around guys like Jaromir Jagr and to certain, even the young guys in Florida like Nick Bukestad, Jonathan Huberdeau, Aaron Ekblad, just to see what it takes to be an NHL pro every single day. And I'm not trying to lump those guys in there with the guy of Jagr's status, but you know what I'm saying. Anytime you can watch and learn is a great thing, and get the opportunity to go out there and play a little bit and play against the best players in the world. It's definitely something that you really can't complain about. So I think he will be in South Florida opening night. I think long term he projects as a top 6 power forward in the NHL. I said that going into the draft year. I said that at the draft, but I want to see him refine his offensive repertoire a little bit more. I want to see him go back to Kingston, do his 6, 7, 8, 9 games with Florida. Go back to Kingston. Really establish himself from an offensive perspective. If he can put up 70, 80 points next year, or this year, you know what I mean, and then still bring that tenacity and physicality on a night in, night out basis, that'll really bode well for his future in the show. And I mean, last year he was one of the few draft eligibles on the Canadian WJC team, so he goes to the World Juniors this year, really puts on a good clinic offensively. I thought he looked pretty good last year at the World Juniors, in fact, and I think he next year is given a more prominent role offensively. I think he can do some great things and really show why he was a top 12 pick in the draft. He expected to go higher, slipped a little bit, but the Florida Panthers said thank you very much, and scooped him up, and now look to have a big building block in the form of a 6'4", 210-pound power forward. But again, I like the kid's game. I think he's gonna have a long future in the NHL. It's just I don't think he'll be up all season. I think he'll see some NHL time at the start of the season, and then he goes back to junior hockey and does his thing up there. And Florida, and Crouse for that matter, in the long run will be better for him. Anyway, that's our episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the preseason and beyond. Later, guys.